Folks, we're here with Courtney Hansen. How's that? Cool is that she has been working hard this weekend up here at the Pigeon Ford Rod Run and agreed to give me 10 or 15 minutes just to do a little interview. And the thing about it is, y'all know that I'm a fan of her, but the only reason is because she is who she is. She's so cool, down to earth. It's not like I'm sitting here with some kind of rock star. She didn't come in with an entourage. I didn't have to do anything but ask her to do it, and she said, "Sure, Scotty, we can set it up." And we set it
up. I always love talking to you, Scotty.
I appreciate that.
And I'm a fan of yours too.
I appreciate that. I wondered. Have I made any kind of impression? Good. Awesome. So I just wanted to get her folks here just for a few minutes so that we can get a little idea of who Courtney is. I mean, we see her on TV and we know that she's a host of Power Nation. Started out on a show, right?
Yes, started out on Overhauling.
Right. And so tell me, where does the love for automobiles come from?
Well, my dad raced SCCA, which of course is Sports Car Club of America, and he won 27 national championships, so he is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and my life growing up was just going from racetrack to racetrack, traveling, primarily through the Midwest, and we also used to own Brainerd International Raceway in Minnesota. So I grew up a pit kid. I was hanging at the tracks all the time with my family, playing in the dirt with my sister, and driving everything with an engine since I was literally old enough.
When did you start riding go karts?
Ever since I was four. I'd say since I was 4, I was literally driving, cars, motorcycles, 4-wheelers, 3-wheelers, boats, anything with an engine, go-karts, and anything.
Like me, right?
Yes, totally.
I mean, it's just a general term, but truthfully, it's just, I guess it comes from your dad. Now your mom, is she?
My mom's a car girl too, through and through. I mean, you can't marry my dad and not be a car girl. She's so funny. She's kind of being facetious, but these days she's like, "I'm so sick of cars." However, she's here at the show and she's looking after my daughter. But so I grew up immersed in the car world, and when I say I was driving everything with an engine since age 4, I would sit on my dad's lap or my mom's, and on our property, like up at our lake home in Minnesota, I would literally be steering the cars and driving from my dad's lap, and so I'm a car girl.
So it's like we can all relate, guys, because I think we all started out as kids sitting on our parents' lap.
Yes.
They ran the gas and the brakes, and we were steering the wheel,
Yeah.
So.
And as soon as I could press the pedal, I was doing that.
Right. What was your first car?
My first car was a '93 IROC Z28.
Cool.
It was a Camaro, and my dad, he was racing. He had actually retired at that point, but I mean, he's a racer through and through, and so he was like, "Courtney, you need to get this car, this fast car." He was all about the speed of it, and my mom was like, "Are you crazy? Your first car is going to be that IROC? I mean, that is so powerful."
You know how crazy that girl is?
Yeah. But I'm a good driver, and that's the thing. My dad really taught us well. He gave us confidence and instilled in us the ability to drive a car really well, and so I'm skilled. I've never gone into racing, but I consider myself a pretty good driver.
Just a tad of confidence coming there. Skills is what she says, right? I try to be model, but I think I can drive pretty decent too. I'm not admitting that on camera. But I think it is one of those things that is born in me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure you're a lot like me in that when you are driving a car, you're not thinking about driving a car. It's all natural reactions.
It's all natural.
You know what I'm saying? When the car starts to lose, go one way, you're not thinking, I need to countersteer this car. It just happens.
It just happens. You just know what to do.
Right.
But I'm also focused behind the wheel, which I think is a big part of being a good driver. I mean, these days people are, God forbid, texting and driving, and they're on the phone, and they're doing CDs and eating and everything. And when I'm in the car, I'm driving the car. Like it's a driving experience for me. It's not like sightseeing and everything.
So you prefer a standard over an automatic, I would guess?
Oh, I love manual. Yeah, I mean, manual is the way to go. But in my '57 Thunderbird, I just put that thing in drive and cruise. You know?
And that's with my Mustang. People give me grief because it doesn't have 3 pedals. It's an automatic.
Yeah.
If it was something I was going to drive on the weekends or toy around in, then most definitely 5, 6 feet. I'm good with it. But I spend so much time in rod traffic. You know what I'm saying? Rod run traffic.
Yes.
That when I bought it, I was like, no, I just want to get it.
You just want to cruise. You just want to drive.
And I'm confident in my driving ability, so I don't need to prove to anybody I know how to drive a stick. I can.
Yes.
You know, so.
But you just want to put it in drive and go and not have to deal with the pedals and the shifting.
And now Dad's he was a road race in SCCA, right?
Yeah, I mean he was pretty remarkable.
But you're raised around the Brainerd's a drag racing track, right?
Well, it has an NHRA drag strip, but it's a 3.5-mile track.
Oh, no kidding.
So yeah, there aren't really any races per se, anything outside of NHRA, I don't think anymore.
Right.
But they used to do the Trans Am races, the motorcycles raced there up until the 90s, I believe. So I don't know what.
Well, it's a popular name now. Again, I've not tracked to see what happened to the race, but it's it's kind of like any of the other ones. That Brainerd is a popular name when you hear it, but I always think drag racing for some
Well,
reason.
because that's what they're doing these days. I don't think there are any other kind of races, but yeah, my dad was racing the Trans Am series there.
Right.
So
that's what you like. You'd rather do a little road course racing than say straight line racing.
No, I like it all. Are you kidding? I'm really into NASCAR because I know a lot of the drivers, and I've just been a part of that world. I was doing hosting for NASCAR.com, and so I'm at as many NASCAR races as I can be when I'm not doing shows like this, which I love.
Right.
But I grew up with NHRA, and I love it. I love Grand Am racing, and who doesn't love Formula One and IndyCar? Really, as long as it's racing, I love to watch it. The off-road stuff.
Do you have one that you like just a little bit better than others? And I mean, you got buddies in NASCAR, I know, but we're all about being honest here.
Yeah, well, my honest, I would say I probably lean towards NASCAR just because I've been so ingratiated in that world, and working with them has been a blast, and then becoming friends with the drivers and stuff. I would say I probably spend more time in the NASCAR world, and I always catch the races, but I truly love all forms of racing.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan. I'm just a car girl and a race fan.
You can't hide it. You know what I'm saying? It's not something you can fake, and it's not something you hide. I mean, if you like cars, for a lack of a better term, if you're a car career, that's just all you are. You're crazy about them.
Yes, I'm crazy about them. Yesterday I said to Rod, actually, I was like, man, I could just look at cars all day long. Oh wait, I do.
Yeah, I know. And it's one of those things that where one time I had tried to compare cars to other forms of art. And I think art is about stimulating to the senses. And I think a car stimulates every sense.
All the
senses.
senses.
Smell, sight,
really does.
feel.
If we can only taste them, right?
Well, you can. Have you ever had race fuel?
No.
You've never been around a car like no, not that way. When it's in the air. When it's making your eyes pour down, right?
It's
and you're
true.
breathing it in.
You kind of do, yeah.
And the whole experience of that.
At Brainerd, I stood between the two dragsters, the top fuel dragsters, going down the track, and I mean, I rubber all over my face, and yeah, you get it going through your body. You're right, I have tasted it.
Yes, that's right. And the thing is, if you've not seen it, I think you'll agree with me, there's nothing like a top fuel dragster.
No, there's nothing like it.
No, I mean, NASCAR's cool, don't get me wrong. It'll come down the strip, back straight at 200 miles an hour ground and kind of go like this.
Yeah,
but when the dragsters take off, the whole stands, the whole world shakes, it comes on buttons.
You feel it in your soul.
That's
You feel it all the way through.
And how can people not love that?
I don't know how you can love it. Well, maybe they haven't been to the races. I think if people don't love a form of racing, they haven't been to the races to experience it, and especially up close and personal.
Right.
Like at the NHRA races, you want to get down by the track. You want to feel the ground vibrate. You want to, if you have the chance to do it, get between the two dragsters when they take off, And if you haven't been to a NASCAR race, you want to get down in the pits and in the garages and say hello to the drivers and hear and feel them coming around the track.
And I think the thing is, people mistake about round track racing is they think it's just turning left and going 200 miles an hour.
Oh, there's so much more to it.
It's a chess game at 200 miles.
It kind of makes me defensive when I hear that.
Sure.
Like, do you know how much these guys and girls train and how much skill goes into it and how much technique is involved and strategy is involved and
the engineering that goes
the engineering
and
that
up
goes
on the pit box, all that thought of we're not going to pit now, we're going to pit
Yes,
two laps
there's
from
so
now,
much
and that's the
strategy.
difference. That's what I'm saying.
about tires and gas and whether you're high or low and you're talking to the pit crew and listening to their advice and then you're feeling the car and there's so much that goes into it. And
It's not just going around.
no, it's no. For those who say it's going around and turning left, why don't they try it?
Right.
It's just
Exactly.
go and try.
Well, you know how nervous you get going down the interstate at 70? Multiply that times 3.
Yeah, you
have
know,
the guy that,
wall like this far.
and the guy next to you doesn't care anything about wrecking you. He's not worried about his insurance going up.
No,
He's going for the win, So how nervous would you be at?
Yes. I can't even imagine. I have so much respect for all of them.
I agree. They're true athletes, to get any of them. If you did nothing more than put a helmet and a race suit on, and spend 2 hours in the pit standing there doing nothing, you would realize what conditioning it takes to be any form of race car driver.
Absolutely. And when someone's like, "Oh, this driver's not so good," they're all incredible to be out there doing what they do, and they're at the top of the top. So I have the utmost respect for all of them.
What about X Games stuff? You like that?
I don't have time.
I know, right? Thank goodness for a phone you can can catch up on some
Yes,
stuff.
I'm always working and hosting TV shows and then coming to these events like this and meeting the fans and seeing all the cars and hanging with the people who support our shows and then going to the races. And I'm raising a daughter now.
Oh, I know.
I have a 10-week-old daughter.
She's a good kid, I'm telling you. She was sitting right behind Mama yesterday, sleeping and not messing with nobody.
She's been so good, and I want to bring her into this world and also have her near me. So I'm starting her young in the car world.
I'm excited about that.
I can't wait.
I know.
I'm praying she's a tomboy.
We got another one. We got one coming up right behind you,
Yes.
and I can tell that I wouldn't have you on my channel if I didn't truly wasn't a fan myself and thought you were a real person. I think if you were just some nut job that they paid to be on TV, I wouldn't pay any attention to you. But from meeting her and talking to her, I realized you're just a real person who really digs cars. None of this stuff is fake,
I know.
So let's hope that nothing happened there, that next one misses the boat.
Well, it's so important that the younger generation, we want to keep the passion alive with them. And it kind of makes me sad that we've shifted in this direction where it's all about electronics and then it's all about hybrids and electric cars. And God bless them, and I do care about the environment.
Sure.
And I live my life in many ways to help the environment. But when it comes to the combustion engine, I'm all about it personally.
Nothing replaces it.
No, and it's a part of American history. Like our American heritage is in large part based on cars.
Transportation, trucks.
Yes,
You're right.
and all these cars of the past are just not only beautiful, but they'll never be replicated. And it's a part of our history. And I just really hope that the young generation will be as passionate. I mean, they're not right now, and I want to bring the passion.
And again, I thank you again for being here because that's what I hope my channel does. Because I'm a little bit older, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually the YouTube generation, But yeah, hopefully we can go out and shoot some of these muscle cars and some of these hot rods with V8s in them and some of these, no problem with imports. I shoot cool, but hopefully we can expose them because I think there's this generation now that doesn't spend any time in the garage.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Mom and dad are white collar workers, no problem with that, but they are, and they get their oil changed, or the car's always under warranty.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you grew up.
They don't have to. They don't have to get in the garage.
Everybody on my block knew how to change brakes.
Right.
Yes. Everybody on my block knew how to change oil. None of us were mechanics. It's just you had to have that information.
You got hands-on with cars, and now we don't need to. And most of the parents aren't promoting it, like you said. And it's just a new day. But I want to keep the passion alive and I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying, to...
And we're going to work as a team to make doing what we can.
Yes,
and I'll try to do that. You do too, because I really feel that same passion you do to make sure that this carries on.
Yeah.
That we don't lose this. That, 10 years from now, we're still customizing cars,
And we're still going to the car shows, and these cars are still valuable. And so whenever I see kids, I talk to them. I instill confidence in them that they're doing an amazing thing by being a part of this world, and I try to share the excitement with them and congratulate them for getting in the garage with their dads or their moms and getting under the hood of the car and knowing their stuff. A lot of these kids probably know about as much about cars as I do, because they're learning from their parents, and I just think that's awesome. So I just hope that we can continue.
And the other segment I want to try to help too is the female segment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a male dominated thing. If you like cars, you like cars. I mean, here we sat, right? I mean, you can be feminine and attractive and educated, college educated, and still be a motorhead.
And be a motorhead.
Right.
And there are more and more car girls these days who are watching the car shows and getting in there and working on cars and who care about what they're driving.
Right.
And by the way, a little fact, 80% of the purchase decisions in the house are made by women when it comes to cars. And
in a married house, it's 100.
It's 100? Yeah. Yes. Amen to that. Hello.
Yeah, no.
And in my house, we have good taste.
Sure, right. That's right.
But so, women are important in the car world, and more women, though, these days really do care about what they're driving.
Well, I think that if we take the time to explain why our passion is our passion, women are intelligent, you know what I'm saying? Yes. They'll pick up on it, they'll look on it, and they'll start to go, well, you know what? I noticed a difference in that seat. I noticed it turns a little...
It's drive.
Right. Maybe they were never exposed to understand what it is that we like. What are we feeling?
Yeah.
What is the difference, I mean, if you get in two late model cars, they'll both get you to point A, point B, smooth, this and
They're
that.
totally different driving experiences.
One happens to be a Corvette and one happens to be, I don't know, Malibu or something. There's a big difference in the way they'll get you to point B. So,
Yeah.
you know, again, working together with the youth, I had that same thing. I want to try to do that. And again, I don't want to expose. That's why I think your line of clothes is a cool thing that's coming along.
Gearhead got it.
That's what I'm saying.
And there's another one too, a completely different line that I've been working on for years, and it's just been a busy time, but I'm getting it going again, called Auto Angel. But Gearhead Goddess, and we're gonna do a little something for guys too that won't be feminine,
Right.
And we're gonna do stuff for kids, and for me.
Very cool. Babies too. That'll be, you know, that's where we gotta start. That's where I started.
And that's
where you started
too.
You know, and that's where this one's starting at.
Yes.
Is that right there behind Mom, smelling the gas. She'll wake up. She'll never be like gas.
She'll never be the
smell
same.
bad.
She's always going to love the combustion engine, and she's always going to respect the classics that we grew up with.
Well, and the sad thing is now, you were talking about electric cars and hybrid cars, and I'm with you. You know, whatever you got to have there,
Yeah.
just leave our motors alone.
I mean, the Tesla's pretty amazing, but
But the thing I see is that all these new cars are being designed in the wind tunnel. And the wind tunnel doesn't know the difference between Toyota and Chevrolet. It gives you the same answers back no matter what you do.
Right.
So you end up with a lot of cars that are looking the
they
same.
look the same.
So I don't know that we'll ever get back to when you had a 70 Camaro that's so much different than a 70 Mustang. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are looking long and, you know, tubular and round.
Aerodynamic
And all that. So
Yeah.
I'm afraid too that what we have to do on that front is cutting into style. But the good news is we got some customizers out there that are coming along
Yes.
and make all that change. So
Very
as
true.
long as we can give them the project car to start with, hopefully we can always expect to have beautiful cars come on.
Yeah, and we can always, appreciate and respect the cars of the past.
Right.
And see them at these shows and own them and visit collectors and read about them in books and stuff. But I think it's important that we hold on to, the value
I agree.
on every level of these
And
cars.
and I'm with you too, in that I think as Americans, the automobile has so much to do with our threads and our fabric of
It's our
who we
history,
are.
a big part of it.
And we, we're very proud of that, and I hope that it's something they don't take from us.
And I don't think they will. Look at all the car shows throughout America.
There's tons of them,
I'm
aren't
sure
there?
you've been to so
Yeah.
many. I've been to virtually in every state.
Right.
And there's many of them, in just this area alone. There's
Sure.
many throughout the year, and they keep getting bigger.
Yep.
So that's encouraging.
It is encouraging.
And back to what we were saying about women, I think that women didn't necessarily feel comfortable in the car world in the
Right.
past because it was a man's
Sure.
world. And now it's being infiltrated by women, and women are feeling more comfortable expressing themselves
Right.
in this arena.
And again, going back to your clothes, I think there again, when they can go to that t-shirt trailer and they're being catered to, they feel
Yes.
welcome, and that's just that one more little encouragement to say, what kind of car do you like? You know what I'm saying? Go out and paint it pink.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, I mean, that's the thing about our hobby, our sport, is that if you think it's cool, that's all
It's
that
cool.
matters. Yeah.
I always say that no matter what you drive, if you think it's cool and you're passionate about it, it's cool and I respect it.
What, I get this question, and I'm only asking you because they put me on the spot and I can never answer it.
All right.
Do you have a favorite car?
I would say that my favorite car, like my dream car right now, would be a 71 Hemi Cuda.
Really?
Yeah. I think that that's probably my favorite car that I'm longing for.
Right.
For so long, my favorite car was a 57 Thunderbird. I know it's girly, I know it's feminine, but it is what it is. I just think it's beautiful. And the white on white, and I have a 312. I ended up getting a 57 Thunderbird several years ago, and so I fulfilled that dream. I still drive it all the time and appreciate it as much as ever. But now I have my heart set on a 71 Hemi Cuda, or I'd settle for a 70.
Yeah. And one of my favorite cars is a car that you currently own.
Which one?
That's your Camaro.
The 70?
Yeah, sure. It's what bumper Camaros are, right?
Yeah, I have a 70 Z28 that I recently got, and it's in Florida. I purchased it in Florida. I found one that I got a killer deal on, and its numbers matching.
Somebody gave Courtney a killer deal on a car.
You know what's funny? I went to get the car, and the person didn't know who I was. I didn't say my name or anything. We talked about the car. I found it online, and we had many conversations. And then when I went to get it in Miami, the guy looked at me and he goes, "I'm watching you on TV right now." It was on a Saturday morning, and he's like, "I'm watching Power Block right now,
Right.
Power Nation." And so that was funny, but he was cool, and he gave me a good deal. So that is in Florida, and
Right.
I can't wait to be reunited.
What
with
else do
him.
you have?
I have a 70 Mach 1 that I got from DJ Funk Master Flex.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm excited to pick that up in New York. I haven't even picked
You
it
don't
up
have
yet.
it yet?
I don't have it yet.
Is
but
it
I do
all
have
original cars? Custom, straight
It's
up?
all original, and I don't know what I'm going to do do with it. If I'm going to keep it original, or I might customize that one, actually.
Really?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. If it's all original, I don't know that you want to do that.
I don't know, but I'm keeping all my cars original so far.
Well, I know, but we gotta go find you a project that's already screwed up. Not one there's just a few left of.
I have to see it in person to kind of make that decision, but right now I think I'm going to keep the Camaro. I'm going to leave it alone.
Right.
And I'm leaving the TV.
Now it's pretty much stock, right? You don't have like an LS or anything in there?
No, it's all stock. It is a 350, 4-speed.
Right.
And I'm not sure. I think I might leave it alone.
Right.
I just might add some AC. It doesn't have AC.
Oh, it doesn't have AC.
No.
That's
And it's
right.
Florida, right?
Yeah.
Well, I might not keep it in Florida, but and then I have an Aston Martin DB9 that I gravitate to the American classics. My heart is with the classics.
Sure.
And so if I could, every day of my life, I would drive an American classic. But the truth is, I'm on the interstate a lot, and I have to go to meetings, and I have to get places on time, and I can't afford to break down sometimes. So I have a modern sports car, which is the DB9. And
how cool is that?
it's pretty cool. I love it.
Right.
Yeah, I can't complain.
How am I gonna bust her over that? I mean, I want to. Don't get me wrong. I want to give a grief about it, but I mean, come on. I understand. And the thing about that is too is that in your position, I guess at some points you have to make different impressions, and maybe going up in a ground pounding Camaro isn't the impression you're looking to make at a certain meeting.
Well,
But you know.
Well, when I say meetings, it's like I might have to travel across town and kind of like keep myself held together and I have my hair, you know, and I'm usually, if I can't drive the convertible T-Bird, and I'll be all disheveled for the meeting. So if it's within a distance that's okay to like cruise there in one of the classics, I'm always in the classics. But if I have to go a long distance on the interstate, or you know, if I need to be somewhere looking put together, then I'll take the Aston.
And where do you keep that car out west somewhere?
It's everything's in California except the Camaro.
How do you like living up there?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I live basically West Hollywood, and
I mean, because you're Midwest born, so you got
I was born in Minnesota.
You got values and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
well,
right? You went to the land of crazies.
I always say that I'm a Minnesota girl in my heart, but I have California spirit. So, and I spent a lot of time in Florida, and I also lived in Chicago.
You went to school in Florida.
I went to school in Florida.
Got a
went to
degree
Florida
in
State.
marketing?
Then I got a degree in marketing. You read up. You read my
I
back.
got to do my homework, girl. I got to know who
You're a
I'm
good
talking to.
interviewer. You're a
I
good
know who I'm talking to. If I'm going to get this opportunity, I'm not going to blow it.
Yeah.
But I think that's, you know, there again, that's more, you sent me to do that. You know what I'm saying? From the first time we met, whatever, a year ago or early in the fall, whatever it was, I went back thinking, Mom, you know, I mean, she's not this person that everybody may think she is. She's really this cool person.
What do you think about me?
Learn more about her. And then I started to figure out that all this is planned. Understand, she sits here today, bad luck sitting here today, but she's here today all because of a plan. You came out of school and you decided none of this is happenstance from what I understand. Like,
Well, I worked for
you
a little
started
bit
out in
in
corporate
corporate
America,
world, yeah.
but obviously you can tell that lasted how long?
It just lasted a year, and I was okay in that world, but it wasn't filling my soul. It wasn't filling my passion, and
Right.
so I just wanted to get back to my creative roots and get back to the automotive stuff, and so I moved to LA, and I was focusing on a TV hosting career, and Overhauling came about, and I auditioned for the show, and I got it. And
But now when Overhaul came about, Foose wasn't who Foose is.
No, Overhauling
Right?
kind
It was
of
like, you
created
were
the
probably
whole
thinking to
deal.
yourself, yeah, who is this guy?
I knew who he was though,
Right.
and then I researched more, and I mean he's this phenomenal artist and just incredible designer, car guy, and so I read up on him
Right.
the same way, and then we did the show together and had a freaking blast.
How long did you do that for?
Into season 3, and then I left in season 3 and went to do the Power Block on Spike TV. I did that for 8 seasons, and then I left. I didn't leave. It kind of merged into, it took a different form, into Power Nation, which is now on Spike TV, NBC Sports, and CBS Sports.
Are they kind of the same show, or is there a
It's
difference
pretty
there?
much the same show. We changed the name. So we have
Right.
Detroit Muscle, Engine Power, Truck Tech, and Extreme Off-Road. And we had to change the names just because we're now on 3 networks instead of 1.
Right.
And so it airs pretty much every day of the week instead of just on the weekends. And there's something for every gearhead, every automotive enthusiast, whether you like trucks or off-roading or building muscle cars or, you know, fabricating or souping up engines. We have something for you. So.
Is it, do you do like projects, or, I mean, do you have like 3 segments on one show that may show 3 different cars, or do you kind of like do projects for one show?
Well, each show is kind of building what they're building and working on that particular project of the week or of the month. It depends. They don't always complete a project in one episode,
Right.
but they're always working on their own things. and then I interview celebrities and people from the car world, company CEOs, automotive company CEOs, and then we talk about killer cars, whether they're usually custom. Well, not always. They can be original. But I'll talk about these cars, classics, and some late model cars, a couple European cars in the mix, mostly American,
Right.
And we just
Really,
showcase.
You do European cars down there?
What's that?
I said you do European cars down there?
We do.
You caught me off guard
some.
on that one.
We do a few.
It's called Power Block, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't associate with German cars. Usually.
Well, we did a few Italian. We did some Ferraris. We did a couple Lamborghinis.
I'm just roughing you.
And yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, as I said,
I'm trying to sell you as all-American girl, and you keep jabbing me with
well, they throw them in every now and then, but no, mostly we're American cars.
Right.
And but we'll have some I feel like all of them are just incredible cars.
That's why they're there.
Yeah, that's why they're there.
And that's the same way I am on my channel. I feel like if the whole world needs to see this car,
Yeah.
or this interview, or whatever it is, then I'll show it.
Yeah.
But not everybody qualifies for that. So
No.
there's some standards to your show. It's not just we got to shoot a car, go get one out of the parking lot.
No, they're all special in some way. Whether we're showcasing, a killer Shelby Cobra or one of Jay Leno's cars, like we had his C6 Corvette one time, or
That
whether
was crazy.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Yeah, he's a nut.
Oh, he's cool. I mean, he's a serious car guy.
No,
And now he's back to automotive hosting.
Yeah. I'm ready to see him back on TV because I like Jay. I mean, I like his politics,
He's
but I
just a
like
good
Jay. He's a
dude.
good dude.
Yeah.
He's a car dude, and he's the kind of guy you can just walk up to and just, talk to and
Yeah,
just
and
be.
you totally can. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got the passion through and through.
So you've been to his garage?
You know what? I haven't. I've been invited, and I've never been there.
Your next time you get invited, let's go.
Yeah, there just hasn't been.
California.
We probably could at any point. You got to make it out to LA, and we'll do
I'll
it.
try to do it. Tell me before we go, I know I'm taking plenty of your time. Before we go, you got a cool car story that jumps out you can tell us?
A cool car story.
Yeah, I know there's one. You told me the other day.
Which one?
You almost put a car in a ditch.
When was it?
You and your friend were
Which
doing
time?
something. Well, you were young. It seemed like you were heading home from somewhere. And you decided to get high, and it was a little bit wet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Before it ended, you ended up face to face with
With
a
the tree. Yes, it was with the IROC.
Right.
It was with the IROC, and I was driving in a development. My parents always taught me to drive carefully, to drive safely, not take chances. And I don't even think I've told them the story. I think they would kill me.
Okay.
But
So parents, if you're watching
yeah.
this,
And kids, if you're watching this, don't listen. I mean, don't pay attention. Don't
well,
try
this
this
is
at
exactly
home.
what you shouldn't do. That's why we're bringing this up.
Don't try this at home. But I got on it in a development, and the road was a little wet because it had rained. It was Florida, and it rains every day, every afternoon in summer, and it was in the summer. And we got on the car, and we did a donut, and I ended up. The car was just spin. It was like slow motion when it's happening, and you're just watching this go like, whoa! It's happening so quickly, but it seems so slow. And we're going, and we're like just so close to this huge tree, and I'm just thinking, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, here it is. Like what, we're gonna crash into this tree head on, and we get like, and I slam on the brakes, and we're literally nose right into the tree. But the car was unscathed. We were okay, and we just sat there, hearts pounding, like, oh my gosh, because we were probably going as fast as the car could go, doing a 360
In the rain.
In the rain.
And that's why she said, "Don't do that."
Oh my god.
She learned from that.
Oh,
That was a good lesson.
it was
right?
a
You
good
didn't do that
lesson.
again.
No, I would never do that again, and I just thanked God in that moment that something tragic didn't happen, because it really could have.
Could have changed everything.
It could have changed everything right there. I wouldn't be here today, so everything's okay, and I won't do that again.
That's right.
Maybe on a racetrack.
Courtney, I appreciate you so much giving me the time to sit down, and it's always a pleasure to see you and talk to you. And every time I do, I gravitate to you because I'm like, there's my girl Courtney. So I appreciate it. Hopefully, we got you. I think we can talk about it now. I think we got you coming up a cruising the coast.
Yes, I'll be cruising the coast. I can't wait, and we'll have more Gearhead Goddess stuff, and yeah, I can't wait to work with you guys again, and ET Motorsports, and
You're gonna be down there for a few days.
I'll be down there for a few days. I
And I'm
can't
going to set
wait.
up on it, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to see if I can get Courtney and I to take a cruise down the coast.
Yes. What would we drive? What would we?
I'll get us something.
What's your favorite car?
See, now she's flipped out.
Ah.
That is, I give the standard answer, and every time I give this answer, I say, God, you don't give that answer again. to me, and I think you'll understand because I've done my homework on you, and I know if you were a guy for a day, what you would do. So I know the answer to that. I'm not going to tell you what she would do, but I know the answer to that. And so I try to explain to people, to me, it's like going to a place where there's just hundreds of beautiful women, and you're supposed to pick one.
Yeah.
And so when I see one, I'm like, wow, look at that. But then I see another one, it's like, wow, look at that. And that's what happens to me is every show I fall in love again and again and again.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's I mean, it could be a station wagon this time, it could be a Camaro next time, it could be a Mustang next time.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to put that on. But the two things I'm really hot for right now, and not because you're sitting here, but it's a second generation Camaro.
Yep.
Slam to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those are way hot. And I'm really getting into like the late 60s, early 70s C10 pickup trucks.
I do too.
Slam to the ground.
We have similar taste right now
Right,
because
right.
I almost got a 66 C10 recently.
Any of the ones with style, you can do
I love
forward or
them.
all of them. I mean, I don't want it to go to the 70 something where they got real square. They still
Yeah.
have to have some style.
Yes.
But when you get a
I
short
agree.
bed like C10 and you can put a 572 in it, pound the ground, slam it to the, I mean, man.
I love it, and they're not that expensive.
No, well, see, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
We can talk for hours.
Ah,
But
no,
I'm running myself out of here. But what I think is cool right now, too, is the patina cars.
Me too.
Because you get to drive them, you get to use them, but yet, man, they're every bit of a hot rod as any other car. They just don't
Yes.
have any fancy paint on them.
But I like that it's character, it's
I
charm.
agree.
For the same reason, I like rat rods.
Yeah.
I know a lot
They're
of
cool.
true car people don't love rat rods, but I do. I think they have charm and character.
Well, they have all kinds of charm and character.
And
That's what they
some of them
are.
are so cool.
But now what I see with the rat rods is that people are spending big money building a car that was designed to be a cheap hot rod.
Yeah.
And there's $100,000 rat rods out there now.
Oh, yeah.
They look like
Yeah.
They look like a regular.
I've seen some at the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're just, you know what I'm saying? So that's something since I've been shooting the show that I've fallen in love with is the rat rods. To really pay attention, really get close to them and see, not just using a beer can as an oil intake or something.
Yeah,
you know,
and some of them are gimmicky.
Right, exactly.
People are just having fun.
And they go way over top on some of them, but just
Yeah.
the ones that, there's several that come to mind that are just, they just look like they're supposed to look. They're traditional hot
Yeah.
rod. Ricky Bobby comes to mind.
Yeah.
He finishes this a little better, but they're kind of that rat rod style, you know? And I mean, I got to ride one maybe a couple months ago. One with the wheels, you know what I'm saying? Wheels come up over the roof. They're
Yeah.
sitting so down low.
They're so low that you just rest your arm on them when you're standing.
How cool is that?
We've had
You're
one
rolling
of
down
those.
the interstate, you know, and everybody, you're looking out the
Everyone
slit in the
looks.
window about this big.
Yes.
Everybody's trying to look in on you, and it's like,
Everyone's checking you
I'm
out.
the coolest dude in the world. Right?
Yeah.
So no, it would be hard for me to say my favorite, but the two things I'm hot on right now is that second generation Camaro
Yeah.
and the C10s or even the F100 Ford pickup truck.
Yeah, those are cool too. Those are cool too.
But the one thing I am convinced of is that if you build a Ford, you should put a Ford in it. And if you build a Chevy, you should put a Chevy.
Yeah, I have a friend who's building a 32 Ford right now, and there's a Chevy motor.
Putting it in a fresh build,
Mm-hmm.
can you change your mind?
I don't think so.
Give me another number.
Oh, by the way, I'm looking right now. So because I have Ford and Chevy represented in my garage,
Right.
I will say I don't discriminate when it comes to American classics. I love them all. I just haven't found a Mopar yet, but I have my eye on 68 Charger with a 440.
Right.
A 69 GTX with a 440 that's completely done. It's been restored, and typically it wouldn't go that direction, but there's something about just the car being turnkey, ready to go, and it's beautiful. And a 69, and they're both all original numbers matching, and a 69 all original numbers matching GTX convertible. And there's only 26 of those left in the world.
Really?
Which would you say that? What would you say? What would you guys say? I want your
I
feedback.
think what was the 69 Charger you said?
A 68 Charger with a 440,
Yeah.
69, and they're all numbers matching.
Right, yeah, I got you.
And they
No,
all
they're
have,
all the same
they all have,
caliber car.
Yeah, they're all the same
Yeah.
caliber car.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there's only 26 of the 69 GTX convertible, and it needs a little work. It's drivable.
You know the car. You know where the car's at.
Oh
You
yeah,
can get one.
yeah.
Oh,
No, these three, they're all.
You're not talking about dream cars. You're talking about.
They're specific.
These are the three cars I
yeah.
can get. Well,
And
one
I'm-
of 26 is
and
the
I'm-
one to get.
Really?
But don't hot rod it.
No. I keep it original.
Yeah, you have to keep that original.
But I'd paint it. I think I'd paint it though.
Go back to original.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the original.
I mean, you need a project. We gotta find you a
But
project.
see, I want a Mopar right now that I can just drive.
But you're gonna get it and you're gonna want to change. I don't want you to change. That's what I'm saying. I want you to get something that you're gonna like when it's ready to go. And,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want you talking about finding one with 26. You know, there'll be 26 of. I don't want to see.
That's pretty special, though.
I think so, and I think that's why you got to keep that original. And you've got a bunch of original stuff. You want a hot rod.
I can't make them hop one hot rod.
No, that's all real car too, right?
Yeah, then they're all gonna be. Yeah, I need to find something that I can.
How about like a Chevy too? 67 Pro Street.
There's one in my top 12.
Yeah, the red one.
Oh,
with the cross intake. Yeah,
gorgeous.
I shot this quick interview on it.
All these cars are so insane.
You know, that intake that car's cool, but that intake's over the top.
Yeah.
That cross draft intake.
So cool. I think he raced it, didn't he? And the 68 Charger over there, oh my God. And the 69 Charger, no, sorry, 68 Chevelle and the 69 Charger. Those two.
I shot the 69 Charger. I did an interview with John, and that is a beautiful car.
In my top 12 as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a nice job too, bringing those folks in.
Green Bandit.
I know they appreciate it. Everybody was excited about there, and as a matter of fact, there's one, I only remember her first name, Natalie. She's got the black truck with the gray flames on it, sitting over in the corner. It's like a 50 Chevrolet, 50-something Chevrolet.
Car girl.
She is a car girl.
She's a car girl.
She knows a lot about it. She worked on that
She
car.
has the tattoos, right?
No tattoos.
Okay, and I'm thinking of
What the cool thing about it is she's a fan of you and me at the same time.
That's cool.
If we got one fan, that both we're in business.
She's covered the bases.
That's it. So no, and I told her, because I was telling her, I said, as much as you know about cars, as much passion you have, you can be the next Courtney.
Yeah.
You think so?
And I support all the other women. There is no competition or jealousy.
You're not
I say no. I say more power to them. I love all the female gearheads, and when I see sexy pictures of the girls posing next to cars, I'm like, heck yeah, I love it. Like that, like that. Yeah. And people say, you're not intimidated or jealous or competitive with them. I said, no way. Like, girls need to stick together, and I just say more power to all the cars.
And listen, the basis is cars. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what gender you are. If you're a hot rodder, then we can be friends.
Yes, that's right.
If cars are transportation from A to B, we're probably not going to have a lot to talk about.
If you like cars, we can be friends.
That's right.
Like that.
That's it.
That's awesome.
Girl, again, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to get to talk to you and to be able to shoot an interview for my subscribers.
I appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you.
Folks, there you go. Courtney Hansen. How cool is that, right? Hope you all enjoyed it. See you.